And we are back, home track heroes here at Evergreen Speedway on CW11. We're got a few seconds to go before we get them fired back up. Tell them who's bringing us this segment.
You know, one of
Please.
the things, if you need some groceries, man, head on down to Grocery Outlet right here in Monroe. They're the official grocery store of Evergreen Speedway. You'll find name brand groceries, farm fresh, organic produce, all for much, much less than you might spend at any other grocery store. But head on down Grocery Outlet right there by the big smokestack as you head east on Highway 2.
And that's the name that you'll see on the side of the 16 of former champion Daniel Moore. And they've been together for a long, long time. So thank you to the Hames family at Monroe Grocery Outlet for bringing this segment to you and for bringing us Daniel Moore, because it's good to have him out there racing. Let's get back underway, and we are back in the 37 car, I believe, of Daryl Reddick. And it's kind of interesting to see how these things bounce around when they're really jacking on that thing. Boy, is he working the wheel.
That little knob to the right of the silver, now it's gone away. That's a brake balance adjuster. They can turn that thing in or out, putting more brake either to the front two calipers or to the two rear calipers, depending on what the car seems like it needs or wants, and the driver can do that. That's one of the few in the cockpit adjustments they can do. They just turn that little knob and they'll give them more front or rear brake.
We have a new leader here on lap number 22, and that is our previous winner, Daryl Reddick, the young man back in the 37 car in a familiar position. We saw him wire to wire our 70-lap feature a couple weeks ago when we had him here on Home Track Heroes. A great battle, and this has happened quite a few times over the years, and that is with Daniel Moore and Jeff Knight. Daniel Moore with a bit of an advantage as he is working the middle groove. Tyson Lang right behind him as Jeff Knight is. It's hard to say what that car is doing. I mean, it looks good, but it just, it looks, I would think he's probably pretty frustrated.
You can see right there just a little bit of a push as he comes off turn 2, but they've got some great people on that crew.
Yes, they do.
They know what they're doing, and they'll get that thing figured out. But that's a great 4-car battle, and all of a sudden you see Dario, who seemed to be pulling away a little bit, and all of a sudden Fitzpatrick in the 12-car catching right back up to him. So he can see them. He knows what's going on. His spotter's telling him what's happening. And as you see that leader, you get a little bit more hungry, as laps go by.
Well, Chad Fitzpatrick, who led the first major portion of this event in that second spot. Daniel Moore, as he has really gotten away from Jeff Knight. Tyson Lang looking to work underneath, and that's probably where he is going to try and make his pass on the 70 car. As they come out of turn number 4. Jeff seems to be a little bit wide. There's a cool shot as, boy, they just look like Hot Wheels cars coming across there with that shot, but that was really impressive as Tyson had a chance as he came out of turn number 2, as they are on the 3/8 tonight. And another 50-lap main event coming up at the end of the night for our Speedway Chevrolets. We've got another spin, the 9-car and the 3. So it was Wyatt Gardner stuck with it, but it was Greg Bennett who had a problem in the 98 and had to go into the back of the pack. So we'll bring him back up here while they get this thing sorted out. And again, Speedway Chevrolet, we could not do this without them. You'll see the pace car coming up, that beautiful, and I know I talk about this every week, but man, that thing is so sharp. And Speedway Chevrolet is the ones that provide it to us, and so good to have them be a part of this. All right, we are getting back underway. We're going to have 23 laps to go to finish this thing out, as the fine folks from J2 Racing are bringing you this 50-lap feature for the... here's a great shot. Check out the graphics on this baby, would you? Look at that. How can you not go wrong with that thing?
I mean, with that kind of weather, and
I know.
Man, what a ride it would be, huh?
It would be. All right, here we go, back underway. A great restart this time. Daryl Reddick, boy, he has got that restart. Oh, no, what's going on with Chad Fitzpatrick?
Yeah, a little bit of smoke there. Maybe it could be tire rub, or it may be something a little bit more serious, either a motor problem or rear end.
Oh, boy, that thing is not looking good. Let's see if Chad stays on the track. I'm sure, obviously, he's aware of it right now. I'm sure Tyson Lang is probably pretty tired of it as he's been following around in that. But good sight. Still holding power because, boy, he is not letting Daniel Moore get by him. But Chad Fitzpatrick with some issues in the 12 as the yellow comes out. But that could have been a mechanical flag, too. No, it's yellow.
We're just taking our time.
It's not. I knew he threw one. All right, let's see what happens now as we come out. 30 laps to go, 20 down. and Chad Fitzpatrick says he will take it off. So it was a mechanical flight. Chad Fitzpatrick will take the 12 back to the pits and get it ready because another 50 coming up.
Steve, you've heard a lot of talk about tires. Why they're talking so much about tires? In the past, these late models here at Evergreen Speedway have run a slick tire, a wider and no tread tire from Hoosier Tire. This year they're running what they call a 970 Hoosier tire. It's a little bit narrower. It has a little bit of tread on it. Tread is not your friend when you want to go fast and you want to have good grip. So people are trying to figure these tires out because they are fairly new in terms of being used in the country. But they're allowing racing to be a little bit more affordable, and they're closing up that competition, and I think it's a good thing for motorsports.
I think it is too, and it's the wave of the future, and if we want to still keep having these quality of race cars on the track, this is just flat out the way that it's got to go.
2 weeks ago, Daryl Reddick picked up his first win in the Pro Late Model. First time he'd ever driven a Pro Late Model. Can you imagine, Monday morning he got up to go to work, go to school, wherever he had to do, get in the car, headed down the road, and the smile just broke out in his face because there is nothing like that first win. Then he gets to the racetrack tonight, gets out of the hauler, and there's a little different walk to his style because he's joined some pretty exclusive elite company by picking up a win here at Evergreen Speedway.
Yes,
you come with a different attitude. You come with a little bit of, like I say, walk that makes you stand a little bit taller. So, and it's showing tonight because he's back up front trying to go for 2 Pro Late Model wins in a row.
And there you see him coming across the start-finish line right now, about 10 to 12 car lengths ahead of Daniel Moore in the number 16. And good to see Greg Bennett in the number 98 car back out. That cat has been absolutely busting his rear end trying to get this 98 car figured out, and there's a win waiting for him. It's just got to come sometime pretty quick for that man. You see the BDC on the side of Greg Bennett's car. That stands for Bennett Design and Construction, and that's kind of how this whole thing comes together. As Greg just puts in so much work doing custom remodels and does phenomenal work too. So if you ever find yourself, and Tom and I talk about this quite a bit. Make sure that when you see sponsors on these cars, let them know how you found out. As we see the number 9 car of Cody Graham spinning down in turn number 2, so that will take out our yellow flag and get us back underway. But to kind of continue the thought, these guys really need to know that you hear about their sponsors and them, and letting people know who helps them out.
You're absolutely right. That's so important to the racetrack, to the racers themselves. Go into those businesses, buy their goods, services, whatever it may be, and tell them you're there because you saw their name out at Evergreen Speedway on a race car. We kind of take a look at that top 5. Daryl Reddick going for 2 wins in a row, followed by Daniel Moore. Tyson Lang in the number 3 spot. Jeff Knight sliding back to 4. A guy we haven't talked about, Tanner Holm, out for the first time this year in that number 5 spot. He drives that 48T car. This is about his 3rd season in a late model type deal, and every year he gets bigger, better, and stronger.
He does. And the cool thing about Tanner Holm, too, is that he's not afraid and loves to get into any type of car. I think he's done some sprint car stuff, some go-kart stuff, if I'm not mistaken, and a really, really good guy to have back out here. All right, we're going to... when we come across the line this time, we will have 11 laps to go. It is Daryl Reddick in the first spot, followed by Daniel Moore. Tyson Lang has moved up into position number 3. Jeff Knight will drop back into position number 4. We also see Dawson Cox in the 7 car. And, man, a great shout-out to that whole Cox crew because the amount of work that they had to do on that car in 2 weeks was just insane. That car was just absolutely ballistic with the type of damage it had. That was about the only word I could come up with. But boy, Steve and everybody in the Cox family really did a nice job in that crew putting that car back together. So congratulations, you guys. You did a nice job.
Reddick under a little bit of pressure right now from Daniel Moore. Daniel, one of the veterans, former track champion here at Evergreen Speedway, a NASCAR champion. And I got to say, Reddick doing a very, very nice job because if he looks in the mirror, sees that it's Daniel Moore, he knows that Moore is a tough customer, and he continues to hit those marks, doing a great job running, between 17.1, 17.3 laps. Very, very consistent, especially for the lack of experience that Reddick has in this particular type of car.
Absolutely love watching these lap times because it's Daryl will be second fast one lap. Daniel will be a lot faster on that same lap, and they'll flop that back and forth. But look at how close they are right now. 17:352. The previous lap for Daryl Reddick. Let's see what he does this time. 17:336. So he picks it up a little bit there, and Daniel Moore really picked it up on that second lap. But when you have a situation like that, it doesn't really tell you and doesn't show a whole lot. As we see Dawson Cox spun in turn number 2, so we'll bring it back up here, and they will get that thing fired up and back underway. And he does. So welcome back to myself and Tom, as we are we got some points information that we probably should let you guys know about. And that reminds me, you can go to evergreenspeedway.com and find out where your favorite driver stands in points battle. Even though, unfortunately, we really want you guys back in the grandstands, but these points battles mean a lot to these teams out there. It's what they race for. Everyone wants to be a champion. And you can get on to evergreenspeedway.com and find out where your favorite is in all the different classes, and check out the schedule, what's going on, keep up to date with what's going on out here at the Super Speedway of the West. Is we're going to have 6 laps to go when they bring it out of turn number 4. Daryl Reddick and Daniel Moore side by side. And boy, I tell you, I don't know who coaches Daryl Reddick on his restarts, but boy, that guy or that gal does an amazing job. Daryl really nails the restarts.
You're right, and I mean it's busy time because your spotter's yelling in your ear. You're looking at the flagman right now. Big battle for the lead as Daniel Moore ducks inside of Reddick as they head off into 1, off at 2. Moore got the preferred line, maybe no, not going to get that far enough to close that off, but Reddick hanging tough on the outside, which is very, very difficult to do. It's harder to run on the outside, and for someone with his limited experience, he is doing a great job.
Great battle, too, for that third spot, side by side with Tyson Lang on the inside and Jeff Knight in the 70 car up on the outside, as Tanner Holm just kind of sits back and thinks, man, when are these two going to get together so I can move around? But a great run and a tough one on the outside as our leader gets back up into that first spot. Daryl Reddick turning some pretty impressive lap times again, 17:323 on that last one, as this one is winding down. As there you see a good shot of Grocery Outlets, and he's been there for years on the side of that 16 Daniel Moore car. Back down the backstretch they go. They'll see the white flag coming up this time as they come out at turn number 4. Daniel trying to take a peek on the inside, but the car just looked like it was sliding a little bit. Couldn't quite take advantage of it.
Well, you're right, and about this particular point in time, spotter's telling his driver, hey, listen, unless you've got a clear, clean shot at him, don't waste a second place finish. We need those tires for the second 50. So just take it. And they come down the line. Daryl Reddick picking up second win of the 2020 season here at Evergreen Speedway in the Speedway Chevrolet Pro Late Model Division. I don't know when's the last time we had a rookie driver come out and take the first 2 wins in a row.
Amazing. All right, they're going to bring the top 3 up to our Angel of the Winds victory stage, and Kyler Hope will be down there. He'll visit with Daryl Reddick, Daniel Moore, and Tyson Lang.
Tyson Lang, 3rd place in the first half of today's event. A week ago, you spun out, had a little bit of trouble trying to get around Dario. What have you learned so far on these new 970 tires?
They're a lot more slick for sure. You gotta get to the front as fast as you can, so that's what I tried to do and got 3rd, but not what we were hoping for, so hopefully we'll get the 1st.
A lot of work in the second half of today's race. You're starting pretty far in the field. You only got 50 laps to make it up. How hard do you have to push early on?
Hard as I can. I just gotta stay out of trouble and just keep going.
Who do you have to thank for getting the 18 car to the track today?
All the guys helping me, Wayne, Joe, Jeff, Dustin, Mark, Lane spotting, my mom and dad, and yeah, my grandpa, Ron.
Tyson looking to get the 18 car to victory lane later today. Daniel Moore on the podium once again, but still not a first place. What do you need to get around that 37?
I tried everything I had for him in this race. That Grocery Outlet car was a great car, but just didn't have quite as much speed in the center as he did. So I think we're going to make some adjustments for the car in the second race, and I think we'll get this JT Racing Parts car out front.
Who do you have to thank for bringing you to the track today?
I got to thank my family, all the time we dedicate to this project, Tori for spotting for me today and everything, and Grocery Outlet in Monroe, J2 Racing Parts, and handsfreeuvc.com.
Daniel Moore coming home second. Daryl Reddick down here in Angel of the Wind's victory lane, 2 for 2 on the year. What's it going to take to win the second half of today's race?
It's going to be a lot of work. Probably going to be further back in the field. I heard they're inverting everyone who's on the lead lap of this race. It's going to be a fun one for sure.
How are you able to hold off Daniel Moore there at the end? He had a pretty good run on the inside of you, even with 2 laps remaining.
Yeah, he was real close there. I definitely made my heart skip a beat. I think I overcooked the right rear and was barely able to hold on.
Who do you need to thank for your second victory on the year?
I'm going to thank the Lime, Who's, Lux Performance, Entre Marketing, Dane from Les Schwab, and J2 Racing, and Mark Westland, my family, and just the whole crew that comes out here and helps me. I couldn't ask for more.
Daryl Reddick looking to go 3 for 3 later on tonight.